Hey friends, welcome back to the Special Kind of Motherhood podcast. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. And we are kind of getting to the time of year where cold and flu season is upon us, or it's getting close to being upon us. It really depends on where you live. Has it already turned cold where you live? Is it still warm? Like, what are you battling right now in that area? But either way, if you're like me, you're kind of looking ahead and realizing that it is time to get your home stocked with the things that you really want to keep on hand, because there is nothing worse than everyone getting sick in your house and then not having the things you need to support your family and to help them to be comfortable and just kind of ride out the sickness. So today I want to chat with you about some things that I keep in my house all the time in order for us to make it through the cold and flu season. Let's go. Hi friend, do you dream of having a garden but you don't know where to start? Do you want to switch to more natural products but feel overwhelmed by all the options? Do you believe that a holistic lifestyle would help your special needs kiddo but you're daunted by all the information out there? Welcome to the Special Kind of Motherhood podcast, where you will learn how to work towards your dream for homesteading, gardening, and holistic living in small, simple steps that won't overwhelm you. Hi, I'm Ashley. I'm a wife, Jesus follower, and mom to some amazing kids. As some of my kids began experiencing health struggles and developmental delays, I decided it was time to switch to a holistic lifestyle. I quickly became stressed out and burnt out, feeling like I needed to change everything at once. I finally realized that I had to start making one small change at a time, then build from there. I learned to walk this holistic journey in a way that works for me and my family, without stress or overwhelm or constantly feeling like I wasn't doing enough. If you're ready to hear from another mama who understands what it's like to have no time and who can help you make changes towards better health for your family in a way that works for your specific life, then this is the podcast for you. Pop in your earbuds, reheat your coffee for the third time, and let's do this. Okay, so today I'm actually going to tell you about 8 different things. Some of them are products and some of them are things I just actually buy, like from the health food store or the grocery store or different things like that. It's kind of a good variety of both, and that will give you some options, because obviously you may not want all of these things, and a list of 8 things may feel really overwhelming or may not even be feasible for you to be able to purchase, but you could always pick just a few of these things and start with that. These are just things that we use in our home to support our bodies when we are battling any kind of cold, flu, stomach bug, anything like that. I just find it very useful because I have had times where we have ended up sick and I did not have the forethought prior to that to make sure that we had everything we needed in our home. And there is nothing worse than feeling horrible, trying to take care of sick kids, trying to take care of yourself, having a spouse who is also sick, and then not having what you need already on hand to support everyone and to keep everyone comfortable. So I've had that happen before, and then having to call family members, asking them to bring you stuff, which I'm so thankful we have family members who are willing to do that. I know not everyone does, and I'm thankful for that. But I just like to be able to have everything on hand myself. So having past experience of not being prepared, it's something that usually come like end of September, for me often even the beginning of September, but sometime September, beginning of October, I'm really hitting it heavy, making sure, looking through my cabinets, looking through anything in our pantry. Do I have everything we need? Are we good, ready to go? Do I need to jot down a little list and restock some stuff? Just kind of evaluating where are we at and what do I need? And I do use more than what's on this list, but I wanted to give you kind of a really good starting point. Obviously, I've been at this for several years, so my list and my skills have grown over time, but this gives you a great starting point with some different things that you can use and just gives you some variety. Because what I realized was I don't want to have that happen again. Things go so much better whenever I just take a little bit of time to prepare ahead of time. And then I'm not stuck trying to figure out how to get everyone what they need or resorting to pharmaceuticals, over-the-counter things that I don't necessarily want to use and I don't feel for that specific instance are necessary. Obviously, there's always a time and a place for those things and we use them as needed, but it's not my first line of defense. It's something that really I'm going to try other options first, and then if we feel like it's necessary, we'll discuss it and go from there. So number 1 on my list is oscillococcinum. This is something that I really like. It's a homeopathic that is going to help to reduce any types of flu-like symptoms. And I like it because it also seems to work well for us in the area of like body aches and things like that. And I'm not, especially for my kids, I feel bad when they are miserable. But then if I'm not wanting to resort to like Tylenol or ibuprofen, it's a good option for me to give them something to help with the just the discomfort that you feel when you're sick, those body aches, all of that. So I love to always keep that on hand, and I make sure that if we're starting to feel like someone's not feeling well, that we just start giving that to them right away. I even will often give it to other people if they start to feel like, with my kids, especially the ones who can't necessarily vocalize very specifically what's going on. If they just seem to start being a little fussy, a little cranky, they just seem out of sorts, then I will go ahead and start giving it to them as well. It's something that I love to keep on hand all the time. Even honestly, if we have like a little bit of a cold, or it seems like maybe someone's getting a stomach bug or the flu or something, I will just go ahead and give it to them just to help with those flu-like symptoms. Number 2 would actually be elderberry. And elderberry is actually an immune modulator, which basically just means it is going to help your immune system to function more effectively, especially if we're dealing with sickness or anything like that. We really want to make sure that our immune system is working properly as it should. Another great thing about elderberry is that it has antiviral and antibacterial properties, and it helps with like cold and flu symptoms. It will also help to support respiratory health. So it's again, one of those things I just actually buy. You can buy kits. They're wonderful. But something that I typically do, we have a health food store locally. I will just go get the dried berries. I have cloves. I have cinnamon sticks, all of those things. I just make up my own syrup with raw honey, and then I just keep it in the refrigerator. It's something I love to give even as a preventative, just for my kids. If we know there's a lot of stuff going around in the community, or we've been around people who have been sick, then I will just start giving them certain doses of it just to kind of boost their immune system, keep everything working as it should, and then hopefully to prevent getting sick. And the thing that I have actually noticed as we've switched to really living more clean, eating clean, living more holistically, I should say, and then really just trying to lean on these natural remedies and then even preventative things, is that a lot of times we may get sick, but our symptoms are less severe than people who might be getting it around us. Or, maybe someone around us has a stomach bug and they gave it to us. What I've noticed is that we just tend to be less severe in our symptoms than a lot of other people. And I really do credit the fact of, obviously, the foods that we eat make a big difference, and the quality of food we eat also makes a big difference. But then having these natural remedies to support our body, I really feel like that has helped us as well. Number 3 for me is cod liver oil. I love cod liver oil as well. It's great for what I have read as far as like brain inflammation, brain health, all of that. But the other thing that I love about cod liver oil, specifically related to sickness, is that it actually has natural occurring levels of vitamin D and vitamin A, which are going to be great for supporting the immune system. This can be kind of tricky to get kids to take. I've actually done different regimens with my kids before that either included cod liver oil or fish oil. And I had to get pretty sneaky with finding ways to hide it. What I found to be really helpful in that, because of the strong flavor, was hiding it either like in a smoothie or in like some kind of chocolate milk or in a juice, and then like using a frother to mix it up as well as I could. Of course, it's oil. It's going to separate and come back to the top. But those are things that I found to be beneficial, especially if your child cannot swallow capsules and things like that. I also always try to give it to them with food because I don't want them, if you take it, I don't know if you've ever done this, but like if I've taken like fish oil pills and then I haven't eaten anything, I tend to burp that back up for a long time, and that is not pleasant and comfortable. So I want to try to make it as good of an experience as possible for my kids, but that's something I like to keep on hand as well. Number 4 would be Epsom salt and magnesium cream. Both of these will have different forms of magnesium in them, but I do like to keep both of them on hand. One, the magnesium cream I love to use, which I will have any of these products that I mentioned that are something you could purchase somewhere. I actually will have linked below, but you can also find them at bit.ly/healthymotherhood. That's bit.ly/healthymotherhood. bit.ly/healthymotherhood. But I like the magnesium cream. I use it for bedtime. I love to rub it up and down my children's spine, things like that. But as far as like when we are actually sick, I will increase that. If they have like achy, sore muscles, I will rub it wherever they are feeling that ache and that soreness. I also love Epsom salt baths. because it's just something whenever, especially if I have a child who is running a really high fever, I love to put them in a lukewarm bath with a splash of apple cider vinegar and some Epsom salt and just let them soak. It just helps them. It settles them. A lot of times, like I said, it's going to help with those sore muscles and things like that you often struggle with when you are having body aches. And the thing I love about magnesium is also that it actually supports your detox pathways, and it's just going to help to support the immune system as well. So especially whenever any of us are dealing with sickness, I love to really hit it hard on the magnesium. So let's take an Epsom salt bath, and then when they're done, I will rub some magnesium cream on them as well. And that's just a great way for me to support their body, to help support their detox pathways, make sure that they are able to properly detox as they are really just trying to fight off this sickness. Number 5 for me would be a product called Feel Better Fast. And this will also be at the same link I mentioned and also linked in the show notes below. But this is actually an herbal tincture. And what I love about it is it takes a lot of these things that I'm going to mention and it combines them into one product. And the product tastes good. My kids love it. My daughter actually asks for it the minute she starts to not feel great, sometimes even when she feels fine. And it does taste good, which is nice because a lot of times if you're trying to come up with these herbal remedies and things like that, you might be really battling with a child, especially who maybe they can't communicate with you. They're not understanding that this is medicine that's going to help them to feel well. Maybe they have some sensory sensitivities, and so taste and trying new things can be a big deal for them. What I love about this is you use such a small amount for a child and it tastes good. So it's really not as much of a battle. All of my kids will actually take it willingly, which is really nice because you're not having like the cod liver oil. That can be a little bit of a hurdle to overcome because of the taste. And what I have found with this is that's just not true. And so I love that it has like a bunch of different combination of herbs and things in it to really help to support the immune system. So the different herbs that are in it, they do things like it's going to be anti-inflammatory properties. It also is going to support the fever in the body naturally. It's also going to help to ease congestion. It's going to help to support your respiratory system and digestive health. And it actually has ginger in it as well. So it's going to help with soothing upset tummies, which I really, really like because I can use it for a variety of things. And I had mentioned some of the herbs. I'll tell you some of the things that it actually has in it are things like cinnamon, fennel, echinacea root, elderflower, and astragalus root. So that is one of my go-to products that I keep on hand. I get the biggest bottle that they sell, and I keep it on hand all the time. Number 6 for me is actually garlic. I love having organic garlic in my pantry always. I love it for cooking, but I also love it whenever we are not feeling well. So this can be great. You can actually use oils. There's recipes you can find online to make ear drops if a child is struggling with an earache or anything like that. I love garlic because it has antibacterial, antifungal, anti-inflammatory properties, and it is also an immune modulator. Like I mentioned earlier, it's going to help to the immune system to work and function as it should. I also love number 7 for me would actually be raw honey. If you can get it locally, that's even better. But if you can't, at least getting raw honey from the store. Raw honey also has antibacterial properties. It also has anti-inflammatory properties, and it has antioxidants in it. It's also going to help to give relief from symptoms of upper respiratory symptoms. It can be great for a cough and things like that. One of my favorite things to do is actually to take the garlic and ferment it in raw honey. And then you can use either the garlic or the honey in whichever way possible. But for me, taking that honey that has been fermented with the garlic and then putting some in like a drink for my kids or a hot tea for myself has been really beneficial. I find that to be very helpful. This is a great remedy that you can just go to your grocery store. It's not going to cost you a lot of money to get these ingredients. You can just quickly run to the store and get what you need and keep it on hand. Now with the fermented honey and garlic, it is going to take you a while for it to actually ferment. So I would say go ahead and get that going. But those are 2 things that I love to keep on hand for a variety of reasons. And then number 8 for me would actually be, it's a product, it's called lymphatic cream. If there was one product that I would not want to go without, period, this would be it. I love this product. I love it because There's such a wide variety of uses for it. But what it's actually designed for is actually to help to encourage the drainage of lymph and to help to promote your body in detoxing. I also have found it is amazing for if you have sore muscles, or what I've noticed is if I have some kind of mysterious pain, like a pain in my shoulder or a pain in my back, and I don't know what's going on, rubbing that lymphatic cream on it at night before I go to bed, oh my goodness, more times than not, I wake up and that pain is gone, or whatever was going on is resolved. And a lot of times the reason why is because we don't realize it, but there is often like stuck lymph there in that area of the body, and it's creating that pain and that congestion. And so when we can get that lymph moving and flowing as it should, which exercise, rebounding, all of those things are great for encouraging lymph to flow as well. But when you're feeling sick, you're not probably going to want to go out and go for a walk or jump on the mini trampoline and rebound for 15 minutes. So that's what I love about this, is that it's going to really encourage that lymph flow. And it's something that I keep on hand at all times. If I have children who have ear infections, I will take the lymphatic cream. I will put like a drop of lavender oil in it as well. And then I will actually take and massage down, like behind their ear, down in front of it, along their jaw and down their neck to really encourage that lymph to flow. I have found for my kids, lavender oil as well mixed in is really soothing, especially if they're having ear pain, if they're having tooth pain from like teeth coming in or anything like that. Just encouraging that lymph to flow, and then the soothingness of the lavender has been extremely helpful for my kids. Even for myself, if I'm battling sinus pressure or feeling like I have a sinus infection, taking that lymphatic cream, and then you can find videos on YouTube doing a lymphatic massage on the face, really encouraging that lymph to flow. I get a lot of pressure relief from that. All of those things, it's been so helpful for me. And also it's going to help to support the immune system, and it has anti-inflammatory properties. So as you can tell, I love this product. I use it more than probably most of the products I have in my home. I don't use it on a daily basis, but I at least use it on a weekly basis. And I don't just use it on myself. I use it on my kids, and really for a variety of different things. I love it, and it's something I will not go without. So I hope this has been helpful for you. I would love to hear from you. Reach out to me on social media or by email and let me know what are some things that you keep in your home that are a must-have product for you when it comes to cold and flu season. I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I will see you back next time. Hey Mama, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds to share this with a friend who is wanting to live more holistically without the overwhelm? Also, don't forget to head over to Apple Podcasts to leave me a review. It blesses and encourages me to know that this show is helping you. All right, friends, it's time for me to go work in the garden and make some homemade bone broth. I will see you back next week.